See, I already see. I'm gonna have to gather these bitches by their fake noses, okay? Because mama is not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me, still with the dolls that I grew beside.
What's up, in-laws? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you with us. I'm really getting the hang of this big floating head thing. I'm really loving it because right now, baby, I look like a wet rodent. Like, I'm not looking cute at all. My nails look cute, though. Shout out to my nail stylist, Lizandra. That's my baby. That's one of my close home girls. Just Click Clack Gang, baby. You know, Click Clack Factory. I love this color. She came up with this. Girl, this ain't about my nails. Let's get back to the real. Let's get back to the real stuff. So, y'all, I got up this morning. I said, let me get ready for work. But then I remembered, I forgot. New episode of The Real Housewives and the reunion at that. I'm so excited for the reunion. Right quick, let's just go down best dressed and all this, that, and the third. This is who looked absolutely beautiful to me. Dolores, as always. Wendy Williams used to call her Black Dolores, and I could see that. She just looked, in my opinion, her dress, even though it was safe, like it wasn't like extravaganza, but it was very just demure and beautiful, and it looked so great on her skin tone. So to me, she was the best dress. The second best dress actually for me was Danielle. I just love Danielle's gown. It looks so good on her. It was overall, it was a 10 for me in her look. But it was something about, you know what, honestly, maybe Danielle was number 1 for me. And Dolores was number 2 for me. Because I used to think Dolores was number 1, but maybe she's number 2 for me. I thought Teresa looked really good in her gown. It was giving different fabrics and whatnot. Look, I'm not a fashion baby. Look, if it looks good to me, then I'll co-sign it, okay? If the person looks good in it as well, I'll definitely co-sign it. As for everybody else, you know what? Marge looked really nice in her dress. I liked Marge's dress on her, but that is one of those situations where you just don't care for that person on the inside. I think that's what they really, I really see why people say it doesn't matter how beautiful you look on the outside. If to your core, you're rotten, you just don't look beautiful to me. And that's just kind of how I feel with Marge. I feel like Marge, her style evolution has been very great, you know, from coming from the pigtails and the polka dot pants or whatever she was rocking back then and the faux leather to where she's at now. I can honestly say, even though I don't like her, I can honestly say that she has evolved in her style and overall look. Money well spent. You know what I'm saying? Money well spent. Rachel, I said this in the beginning when the looks first came out. Rachel's dress is giving tale as old as time. It's giving Beauty and the Beast. And that's one of my favorite Disney movies. So I should know. Also, I think Melissa's, I like the fabric, and I am a sparkly girl. Like, the more glitter and shimmer and shine I can get, the better. And the royal blue color looks really good on Melissa. But the hooded look and the no sleeves, I don't think she has sleeves. It's giving like, it's giving Little Red Riding Hood chic. So I don't know. Anyway, it's not my favorite. Jen Fessler, she hasn't even come on yet, but I seen it. She was actually my least favorite dressed. And the shit starter, Jackie. Jackie, come lately. Jackie, we ready to see you go. Why are you still here? What do you want? What, was the severance pay not big enough? Like, I just don't understand why she's still around and haunting us with her tackiness. But her dress was very like 2006 promish. It just gave me prom. I didn't really care for it. So enough with the styles. Now let's get into the real juice of it all. The real sauce. Ooh, the real marinara sauce. Because we working with the Italians, baby. I'm pissed. I just finished the episode and I'm really pissed. So pissed that, bitch, I took notes. And you know I'm mad, girl, because usually I just talk, but I wanted to make sure that I had my thoughts clearly, written out so I could portray my feelings through the screen without sounding like a rabid dog. Okay, so let's move on. So the ladies start talking about this really, honestly, it is all stupid. This whole thing between Rachel and Danielle. But I don't understand why Rachel still doesn't seem to understand why she's the cause of all of this. One, you guys were talking as friends. As far as I'm concerned, Rachel starting off was closer to Danielle than she was to Marge and Melissa and to all them other bitches. So yes, you are giving like rat snitch vibes. Like, where does your loyalty lie, Rachel? Because you came, if I'm Danielle, I'm looking at it like you came into the show with me. So we agreed to have each other's back and to do this ride together. And you already jumped ship for the seniors. Like, we freshmen, we supposed to come through. We supposed to, do our freshman thing. Yeah, we're going to learn along the way. But you just completely gave your girl up for what? That's the real question. For what? Because when we look back at the tapes, and this is why it really blows me. When we look back at the tapes, you made it like Danielle was saying out her mouth personally that Marge has an arsenal, which, wink, wink, she does. She's proven that year after year. Marge is not a slow leak, y'all. She got the information ready, locked, and loaded to be shot at whoever comes across her, which is one of the reasons why I can't stand her. Honestly, I can honestly say, kudos to her because she knows what kind of game she's playing. She knows what kind of show she on and the people she rock with. So a bitch stay ready. And you have to in this type of toxicity and this type of reality TV environment. But to say I don't have this information and I'm not spreading gossip and this, that, and the third, but clearly we see you do and you just like throw that rock and hide your hand. I can't get with that. So that's why you're very down here with me. But Rachel, you caused this, girl. Not only did you break that just like code of friendship, you know what I'm saying, by going back and tattletelling on Danielle, but you told the wrong information. So all season, and I'm glad Andy held them accountable, because it's like all season you guys came at this girl's neck based on incorrect information, like based on a lie. And that's what it is. It was a lie. Did she mean to say it the way she did? Maybe Rachel felt like, she would last longer on the show, or she would have a better chance of coming back next season if she made those alliances with Melissa and Marge and Jackie or whatever. But girl, you chose the wrong team. You riding for the wrong team, girl. You riding for the wrong team. And it's gonna come back and bite you. I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm not gonna waste much of my time on that because that was stupid and dumb. Marge should have apologized. I mean, a real apology. But you know what I'm starting to see? Marge is this franchise's Lisa Rinna. Cause let's be honest, baby, Lisa Rinna, she's had her iconic moments. And I can't really say Marge has had her iconic moments, but Lisa has had her iconic moments on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But to her core, she's vile. She's vile and she low down and she dirty, girl. And the issues most viewers had with Lisa was that she would do all this cause just so much commotion, just cause so much division within the group. And then come reunion time, well, yeah, I didn't really mean it though, I said a bad thing. No, bitch, you meant it. You were messy. You honestly were a cancer for the group. And I think that's what Marge is. I think Marge is this franchise's Lisa Rinna, because every year she is going below the belt. She is low down and dirty. And then when it comes to the reunion, she wants to, yeah, I was wrong, but I didn't mean it. No, bitch, you meant it. And that's why I can't fuck with you. Excuse my language. But yeah, I can't fuck with Marge. I never could fuck with Marge. But she looked good in this reunion. I just don't like her face. Both of them. Let me tell you, Danielle, I am a Danielle stan, okay? I have been watching Jersey from the very beginning. And it's been a long time that I've been truly excited about a character or a housewife on this franchise. But Danielle, Sweet Caroline, Danielle is that housewife we have been waiting for. Let me just give you your clicks and your clacks, baby, because you did your thing. Season 1, this was your season. You are the breakout star. I love you. I'm so excited you're on the show. I hope you come back. You are a real one, okay? If you represent, you represented New York the way you should. I'm not from New York, honey. I'm from North Carolina. I'm down south, baby. But whatever Jackie was giving us was not the New York I want to see. That's not the New York I want to be a part of. But Miss Danielle Cabral, I loved you. I loved you. You were just a ball of sunshine, honey. And Insecure, I don't know what is with Rachel. Come on, girl, you reaching. Danielle is not insecure in the least. Not in the slightest, you guys. My balls dragged from out the door. You goddamn right. You better go ahead, Danielle. You are a fucking rock star in my eyes, okay? And an icon in the making. There we go. You are a rock star and an icon in the making. Reality TV icon in the making. Even if you don't stick with Jersey, I want to see you some more on TV. I do. And I want to see your kids too, because your little girl, just like you. Some people may say that's a bad thing. Who cares? I enjoy the little girl. She is just like mommy. On top of that, your son, he is such a sweetheart. And we need more young boys like that who like to care and dote on their younger siblings, especially the females, especially their sisters. Whether they're older sisters or younger sisters. We need more young men like your son who care and love. And you know why he's the way he is? Because he's got a good father figure in the house, your husband, to teach him this is how a man is supposed to act. Because, honey, I know your man loves you, okay? Because every time it was time for you to go, or these bitches was, tripping, when you left, he left. And that says a lot to me. I think that's very important, because unlike down south in Atlanta with Drew Sidora and Ralph Pittman, like the whole fact that Ralph showed up to an event that was being recorded for the show while his wife was dealing with a family emergency. Yeah, she's got a family emergency. No, nigga, that's your family. Excuse me. For my white in-laws, you know what I'm saying? I do say the N-word sometimes, but don't you say it. Don't you say it. No, you are her husband. If she got an issue, you got an issue. It's no wonder they're getting a divorce. Honestly, I feel like Drew should have left him a long time ago. But this ain't about Drew, and this ain't about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is about Danielle, girl. Danielle, girl, I cannot wait for you to come back next season. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. I'm truly not a tree hugger, but Teresa's not always wrong. You know, Teresa has done a lot of dirty, low down things in the past. And she has used people as pawns. But that girl is really dense. But you know what? History has proven itself. You don't have to be the smartest in the bunch to make the most money, or to be the center of attention, or to have your own, or to be a queen and all. I mean, you know, despite what other people think, it is the Teresa show. And Teresa has been Joe and Melissa's storyline forever. Because trust and believe, if they weren't related in any way, Melissa would have been gone her second season, okay? Because she's boring. She's not that interesting. And when she was on the show feeling herself, because I'm interesting and I'm this and I'm that. And then the camera panned into Andy's face like, bitch, please. That's how we were feeling. But girl, back to Teresa. Teresa, baby. It's okay to read books sometimes. It really is okay to read books sometimes. Because when Marge... when Marge said, and your tree stumps... Everybody with good sense knew. Okay, she's referring to Teresa's fans, because Teresa's fans are called tree huggers. Now, I don't have fans, because who am I? I'm that girl, but people don't know that yet. Wink. But I have supporters, and I call my supporters in-laws, because this is the Real Housewives. We're like a big, giant, dysfunctional, you know, coked up, toxic family who loves money and nice things. So I call my supporters in-laws. Teresa calls her fans tree huggers. You know what I'm saying? So when she's like, yo, you and your tree stumps... And Teresa thought she was talking about her physically, and Teresa went and look at how you look and blah blah blah. Let's let low-key Marge look good, so we can't even say Marge look bad. Her heart is black though, black as the night. But Teresa looked good. I mean, Marge looked good. But girl, that went right over your head, and I was just like, damn. It don't matter how old this girl gets, she's still gonna be a little thick in the head, if you get what I'm saying. I have a feeling that Dolores isn't really going to give us much this reunion, and that's okay. In my head, Dolores is like the Cynthia Bailey of the franchise. You know, even though she has a reputation for, you know what I'm saying, shooting the ones with girls and like fighting and whatnot, because she's from Patterson. Did you know I'm from Patterson, girl? She from Patterson, so she about that street life, that broop doop doop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, girl. I'm too soft for that shit. I'm not gonna be fighting bitches and getting my nails. I pay a lot of money for my nails. I want to look cute, but I really feel like Dolores has given what she can give. I think maybe they keep Dolores around because she's like a Cynthia Bailey. She's able to maneuver in between the cliques of the show. She's able to be cordial and, you know, in good spaces with them. But, you know, if she gets turned up, she has her moments where she gets turned up. Very few and far between. But she has her moments where she gets turned up. So maybe Dolores is that buffer for the show where, okay, if people really aren't getting along and are refusing to film together, okay, throw Dolores in there, call her up, say, hey girl, we need you to film with such and such to keep this show on the road, you know, because if nobody wants to film with each other, there's no show. But what I would really like for Dolores, I'm gonna stop calling her Black Dolores because she's not black. But what I really do want for Dolores is when the time comes for her to leave the show, and if she's still with Paulie, I just want her to have a really beautiful, you know, just big fat Italian or Irish wedding, maybe a destination wedding in Ireland or something like that. I want it to end on a high with Dolores, about her being in love, because so many years we watched her waste her time with David. And I don't blame David, because David said, this is what I'm giving. This is what you wanted the house. I built the house. You wanted this. I gave you that. But, he was very firm about what he wasn't going to bend on. And that work was the most important thing to him. And even though he told her that and he was verbal, when you're in love, I think you still want what you want. And you're hoping one day that person will change. And that's not fair to that person. And it's also not fair to you. And that's why Dolores wasted so much of her time. But I do want her to get married. I want her to be happy. She wants love. She deserves love. But you know what? You know how, like, okay, so tell some of my business. Sometimes me and my homegirl, we be on YouTube and we listen to the tarot reader cards and stuff like that. I'm a Christian, okay? And I know God probably don't want us to listen to it. So sometimes I be listening, but I be trying not to listen. But sometimes they say, even in Christian, even in faith, it says God can't give you his best or give you what you want if you're still holding on to the past. And the relationship that Frank wants with Dolores and that he's been getting for the last 20 years is ridiculous. Like, Frank, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay, you have a girlfriend, which, you know what? She's putting up with this type of behavior. She's putting up with this. Frank has a wife and Frank has a girlfriend. And it's always been like that, unfortunately, for Dolores. And, Dolores finally divorced his ass. Good for her. Good for her. But to keep him around as closely as she does is not fair for any man that decides to come into her life at this point in time. And the expectation that Frank has for her to still be there, to call on whenever he needs, to come over whenever he wants and stuff like that. I'm not 100% mad at Frank, because Dolores has allowed this behavior to go on for so long that now you're asking this man to switch up and, hey, lay off. And he should. He's a grown man. Okay, so what? He's not going to be able to see Dolores as much or be around her as much. You're a big boy. You'll get over it. You're an adult. Okay. You shouldn't be expecting this of her. It's a really odd situation to begin with, their relationship. But I know if I was Frank's girlfriend, this shit would not fly. I don't care how secure you are as a woman or as a man. When you see somebody else who seemingly has more in with your significant other than you do, and they're not together, it's natural to feel insecure about it. I don't know how she deals with it, but I wouldn't put up with it. I'm just like, I want to be the apple of your eye at all times. I don't want you being this close with somebody else. So that's all I got to say about Dolores and Frank. I know they're going to talk about it later on the reunion. I'm not even going to address it again. That's how I feel about it. The shit need to just, bye-bye, Frank. It's time for Dolores to have her happily ever after, okay? Andy brings up the conversation that the ladies had on the trip to Ireland, and where, what's her name? Rachel Fuda asked Teresa, so what's the relationship like between you and Melissa's kids? I definitely feel like that was a setup question. She's going to deny it. Who cares? She's not that relevant to me. But that was definitely a setup question. That was definitely a question most people would ask their closer friend and not their close friend's enemy, whether it is family or not. Just that was a very loaded question. So however Teresa decided to answer, even though I think she was answering truthfully, however she decided to answer that, she was going to come out as the bad guy. And that's just how I feel. I also think that Teresa wasn't saying anything malicious about Antonia. I think she was just explaining, this is how my daughter feels. My daughter had a sweet 16, and Teresa's daughter is Melania. It was a sweet, I think it was her sweet 16. You know, Melania came to Antonia's sweet 16 despite their family's ongoing feud, because the girls had a bond. These girls were like best friends. They grew up together. They're basically like sisters. So when it's time for Melania to have her sweet 16 and she doesn't see her best cousin Antonia there, yeah, she's gonna feel some kind of way about that. So I think that's what Teresa was just explaining. Like, I can't say if our kids are this, that, and a third, but this is what I'm telling you how my daughter felt. And I think had they just gave her the opportunity to say that without interrupting her, and Melissa talking about, don't be that aunt, you know what I'm saying? Don't you dare speak ill on my daughter's name. She wasn't speaking ill on Antonia at all. I think any sane person could have saw that she was just trying to explain, this is where the kids are at right now. You know, Melania's hurt. She didn't come to her, that Antonia didn't come to her 16th birthday. And what was the reason? Because you guys went on a vacation? Like, there was no reason. Even if the vacation was pre-planned, okay, we're not working with everyday American families who, you know, spend months, sometimes years, to plan a family vacation, put all this money, their hard-earned money into it, you know, for them to just like cancel or switch their dates of travel around and stuff like that. We are talking about reality TV stars that have a lot of income at their disposal. If they wanted to be at Melania's Sweet 16, and they would have been there, period. They would have been there. They would have said, hey, you know what? It's one night. Let's go. Let's celebrate Melania. Because Melania hasn't done anything to us. Let's celebrate her. She turned 16 once. This is a special birthday, you know, in a young girl's life. Let's go and celebrate with that family. You know what I'm saying? They had the invite, but they chose not to show up. Because that's what the Gorgas do. I'm tired of the Gorgas. But on top of that, Melania's birthday at that point had been the same day every year since she was born. So I'm like, why would you schedule a vacation around that time? And it wasn't like you guys were gone for a long time. You could have easily scheduled that vacation for a different time instead of choosing to miss your niece's birthday. Or again, you could have left for the vacation the day after her birthday. It's just, you know, at this point, you didn't want to show up. Just say that, okay? Now, baby, this is the thing that really got my blood boiling. I was like, at the end of the episode, it's revealed to us, you know, obviously to get us to come back and watch more. It's revealed to us that the rumor Laura, you know, told Teresa and Jennifer about, you know, Melissa making out with a guy in the back of the car or whatever. Look, low key, I know a lot of married people who do a whole lot more than that. So it's really not a big deal. I don't condone it, but I'm just saying, like, you know, girl, now it'd be different if you was like, Melissa was in the back seat, she had slid her panties to the side, she was getting that dick, you know what I'm saying, in the back seat. That's different. Like, that's chatter-worthy. But making out, like, come on, that's like high school. That's so elementary. Anyway, but yeah, we learn that the rumor Laura told Teresa and Jennifer had already told Melissa prior to filming. So now I'm looking at Jennifer like, now look, ho, I was cool with you. You talk a lot. But, you know, I felt like I had respect for her because she was holding her own against the Mean Girls. And we all know who the Mean Girls are. She was holding her own against the Mean Girls. And they were coming at her. And I still haven't forgiven Marge for dropping that revelation about Bill on television, because that's just trash. But for Jennifer to allow Danielle to tell Melissa this rumor with pure intentions, because I honestly felt like Danielle had pure intentions. You know, some people may say, well, why did she do it on the show? Why didn't she call, you know, Melissa or whatever? That's a good question. Why didn't she call Melissa? The fact of the matter is, here we are at the party. Danielle is telling Jennifer, hey girl, I think I need to tell her, because, you know, it's eating me up and I feel bad knowing this rumor is out there and knowing that, you know, Melissa and I, for the most part, are cool. And instead of you being like, look girl, I really care about you, this is going to blow up into a whole big thing. We've already told her, so, you know, let that be weight off your shoulders. The weight is gone, okay? The responsibility is no longer on you. She lets her friend go and tell Melissa with good intentions, like, hey girl, this is the rumor that Laura has told people, and that, you know, it's got back to me and I felt like you should know. And then we get this whole, you know, situation, this whole fight or whatever at the Irish party. And as far as I'm concerned, Jennifer, you're dead to me. You're dead to me, Jennifer. I got nothing left for you, girl. I'm shooting blanks with your ass, girl. I could never forgive that. I'm so upset with you. I like Danielle because Danielle is genuine. You know, after this crazy season she's had to deal with these women, this might be the realest and most authentic we'll ever get to see Danielle, because probably these seasons coming forward, if she's still with the show, she might be walking differently. Like, okay, I've been burnt once. I'm not going to let myself just be out there again and get burnt by these bitches again. And you know what? I totally understand. I would totally understand if she switches up her game and she's just like, I'm not going to be as real and authentic and put myself out there because these women don't appreciate who I am and what I'm bringing to the show. They don't appreciate me. They want to use me as a pawn in their whack-ass games, and I do not fault her for that. I hope she doesn't do that, because the magnetism, the energy that Danielle has on that show is enough to if not be invited to another reality TV show, to one day eventually have her own show on Bravo, because she's entertaining. And look, broads like Danielle usually hang out in packs. So I know, look, I know if there's one Danielle around here, there's at least 3 or 4 others in her circle. We can make a whole new show with Danielle and her friends, and kicking it and sitting on the porch and smoking that cigarette and you know what I'm saying? Like, having some real New York flavor, conversation, all that stuff. So look, Danielle, let me tell you, this is not the end for you, okay? This is not the end for you. Towards the end of the show, it looks like Danielle is like, wow, so you knew about this? Like, did you really use me as a pawn this whole time? Danielle, if you watching this video, baby, if you ever see this video, understand, it's okay. It's okay to feel like you were played. Everybody gets played once in a while. It's okay. it, you know, for you to feel bad because you probably were used as a pawn. You know what? Dust the shit off your shoulder. Stand up, because you're strong. You are a dope ass woman. You will overcome this. Them two birds, Teresa and Jennifer, look, girl, they got what's coming to them. They got what's coming to them. So don't worry about that. You just stay focused on bougie baby or bougie kids. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should make some bougie babies. I don't know. Focus on bougie kids. Focus on your man, on your kids. Because, honey, you are going to the top. You are going to the top. Danielle, I know you don't know me. You like, who this girl from down south with this heavy accent? Blah, blah, look, baby. Look, baby, I am Shadi Fat. No, legit, I am Nigerian. But I am Shadi Fat's girl. And Danielle, I hope to one day interview you, girl, because I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. And you know what? I applaud you. Clap, clap, clap. I applaud you for being so honest and authentic to yourself. Because people get on TV, they get real crazy, they get off the chain, and you know what? They get judged. And I hope you just surround yourself with the same people you're coming into the situation with. Good people. Because look now, as you're climbing the ladder of success, the people who started this shit with you, the people who knew you before you came into this reality TV stuff, some of them might change on you. And you gotta know when to cut them motherfuckers off. So, either way, y'all, we'll see what reunion part 2 is giving. If it's stale, girl, don't even expect me to do no kind of like chit chat with you, because I'm not, we're not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna keep wasting my time with subpar reality TV. I'm just not gonna waste my time. But if it's good, girl, I'll see you back. Or guy. Because I know some of my in-laws are males, my brother-in-laws and my sister-in-laws. Look, if it's good, y'all hear back from me. Now, I got to get up and go to work because I got like 30 minutes to be at work. So I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.